Well, we knew this was coming. We knew at some point 50 Cent was going to decide to fire back. And now we're hearing that there's a T.I. and Tiny documentary tell all that's coming from 50 Cent. We know 50 Cent is a sucker, man. He's definitely a garden tool, man. He's a dude, man, that he's a loner. He got a bunch of money, but he ain't really got no friends. I don't even really think Yayo and Uncle Murder is friends. They hanging on to him to make money because that's the last rope that they got to hang on to. This dude is not a good dude, man. And, you know, he decided to go after T.I. and T.I. and the family struck back and they embarrassed him. So now, to save face, he's deciding to come back and, you know, just stir up some trouble, man. And it's coming. So now Tasha K, you know, she's reporting this, you know, urgent message to the Harris family and their dwarf-looking sons. Fresh on my desk from sources connected to 50 Cent's team, that while T.I.'s sons are trolling 50 Cent with diss tracks to move records after that little failed comedy stint, 50 is allegedly loading up a documentary on T.I. and Tiny and their alleged blank and assault accusations. If I were them, I'd apologize and fall all the way back, right? So this is her, you know, warning T.I. and Tiny, but since the incident started, T.I., you know, he was going on a lot of shows, doing a lot of a lot of interviews about the situation, because it all started what was supposed to be an alleged versus.
You have expressed wanting to do verses, though, regardless of that. Regardless,
I haven't expressed it.
You haven't.
It's not me expressing it, and that's another misconception that I really have a disdain for. I'm not out here soliciting myself for verses. I don't give a foul verses. People want to see me in it.
But you gotta have some love for that. Like, that's a celebration of the music, right?
Of course. It's only goofy like this that make a nigga like, man, why y'all ain't come talking about in the first place? I'm fine on my own, bro. I'm good. I don't need none of that. I'm straight. Without the success of Let Them Know, without an album dropping, I could have still had my hair and doing comedy, and I'm living in the same house, driving the same cars. Ain't now stopped my motion or created none for me. Man, I just, enough is enough.
It's irritating.
Man, quit the cap, Jack. I don't fuck, bro. You know what I mean? It ain't even worth the trouble at this point, dog. You know what I'm saying? Whatever positivity could have came from it, it's been poisoned.
So now 50 is on a tear, and 50 is responding, because we know the other day he put up that post with with 50 Cent and Lil Wayne and was talking about the King of the South. Now he comes back with this. Remember how quiet I got before the Diddy doc? Dame thought I wasn't coming. I hope this doesn't mess up your promo tour. They're going to ask about your 20 blank assault cases. You might want to talk to a crisis PR person. 50 Cent new music today. Like, this dude is insane, man. This dude is insane. Then he put up this post, and they was talking about Judge grants T.I. and Tiny motion to dismiss sexual abuse lawsuit. Man, like, this whole thing gets real goofy. It gets real crazy, right? They had an investigation on a former friend of theirs that she put out like a lot of wild accusations about T.I. and Tiny, right? The investigation concluded on September 2021, while Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office decided not to file charges against the musician because the case fell outside of the year of statute of limitations, right? But he had a whole bunch of women accusing him of a whole bunch of wild acts, right? And they didn't turn into anything. But we remember when T.I. came out and he met this stuff head on, and he addressed these accusations by saying this.
Hey, so as y'all could probably guess or imagine, it's been extremely difficult for me to remain quiet in light of all the things that have transpired and all of the egregious allegations that's been tossed around about me and my wife. But it's a reason for that, and I don't mind sharing it. You see, if a person does not have any right to criminally or civilly have you in court, they have no right. The best thing they could do it gets you for a defamation suit, drag you in court, make you pay their legal bills, to get you in court. Now, I mean, at this point, man, it's at the point where that don't even matter to me no more, okay? But that's the motive, that's the strategy, that's the intention. Say a whole bunch of false stuff about you that get people to believe and make them come out and say, they're a liar, they're a liar, they're a liar. And then they can say, see, they call me a liar. That's defamation. Then they drag you in court, get you under oath and all that. Because unfortunately right now, it doesn't matter as much what they can prove you did. It matters what you can prove you didn't. You know what I mean? And that's just an unfortunate place that our society has made it to. But I want to be clear about one thing. Women who have been victimized deserve to be heard. Women, black women in particular, should be supported, protected, defended, and uplifted. However, evil has no gender. People with evil intentions have no gender. A threat comes in all shapes and sizes. I would never treat a woman the same way I would treat a threat. All right? So I think that has to be distinguished. First and foremost, I want to say my wife is a beautiful person with an amazing spirit and a kind heart. She's a devoted mother, and she has a humble soul. She don't deserve it. She don't deserve it. Now, what we're not going to do is open up the door to my bedroom, as you shouldn't have to either. Open up the door to my bedroom for everybody to come in and chime in and make their opinions about what we do and don't do or should or shouldn't do. But I will say this. Whatever we ever have done has been done with consensual adults who into what we into and like what we like. If we want something, we know exactly where to go to get it. We ain't never forced nobody. We ain't never drugged nobody against their will. We ain't never held nobody against their will. We ain't never made nobody do anything. We ain't never trafficked anything. Well, sexually trafficked anything. I ain't never raped nobody. Never raped nobody. Also, I'm gonna tell you what's factual. There have been fake stories put up that blog sites anonymously sent to this person. Blog sites anonymously sent fake stories to this person, and the person posted it as though it was a victim, that they were sure that it was a victim and it has been victimized. And what this does is it dismantles the mechanism that women have created for themselves. You can't weaponize something with baseless claims. These are not stories of actual events. They're not. And I have proof of that. And that's why I said it. I have proof of that. I have proof of people who have gone on live with this person and they later said, man, I just wanted some clout. That's why I can't believe they actually posted this shit. I just wanted some clout. So this is what we're dealing with, man. This is what we're dealing with. And also, I pose you a question. How you gonna be a victim and an attacker at the same time?
Now, we'll see how this play out because I don't know if T.I. and Tiny going to be really too concerned with this. We know that they went into courts at that time and they was exonerated. They didn't bring any charges up because the DA felt like these charges wasn't worth it. There was something that went wrong because we know that the system likes to use this as a smoking gun. You can accuse a man or a man of doing these acts to women, and it's your burden to prove that you didn't do it. So for him to not be charged and then it go away, I don't know what 50 Cent is trying to do. I don't know why 50 Cent would even try to even come out and put this kind of stuff on him if he knows that it's not true. So I don't know, man. To be accused of something like this in a court of public opinion, man, a lot of times, man, people will just look at you as if you're just guilty. They won't even care, right? T.I. says that this is his last album, and I don't think that it affects him right there because, he's came into the game. He's made a lot of money. He can retire, but I don't know how it might affect his children's career going forward. But I just don't like this dude, 50 Cent, man. Like, he's not a good dude. right? And a lot of times people will say, well, these dudes are sold out to the system and they doing this. Well, who is 50 Cent sold out to? Who does 50 Cent work for? Who's backing 50 Cent to always go after other black people, right? That's a question that should be asked as well. But y'all gotta let me know what y'all think. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time, peace.